Time is running out for former President Donald Trump to post a bond to cover the $464 million civil judgment against him.
All right, and if he doesn't by the Monday deadline, New York State Attorney General Letitia James could move to start seizing his New York properties. His estate and golf club in Westchester could be first. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo joins us live in studio to break it all down for us. Teresa.
Yes, Steve and Natasha, this all hinges on securing the bond. I'm told if the state is able to do this, it would be something of an unprecedented move, especially since the former president is currently trying to appeal his $454 million judgment. The clock is ticking for former President Donald Trump. Come Monday, some of his most prized real estate holdings could begin the process of finding new owners to pay off the former president's massive $454 million civil judgment. Michael Romer is a real estate attorney.
They entered judgments against all of the Trump family-owned properties, and then the state could actually move on those judgments by basically forcing the sale of the properties. So they could actually step in to collect on the judgment by forcing the sale. There's a process that has to play out.
Earlier this week, Attorney General Letitia James divulged that she has filed paperwork in Westchester County to begin the seizure process of some of Trump's properties. That's the first step of the process. If the bond isn't met by Trump and his team, then the state could move in. Generally, this is handled by a bond company, but in this case, Trump has not been able to find a company willing to pony up the cash.
The bond provides some protection because the person who has the judgment against them, in this case the former president, isn't ponying up the entire amount. They're just paying a piece of it, and the bond company is actually assuming the liability. In this case, given the impossibility of finding a bond that big, they're forcing the former president's hand.
Trump is attempting to appeal, calling the $454 million judgment unjust and unfair. Should the president be forced to sell and win on appeal, it's believed the state would have to return his money.
The former president has until Monday to actually convince an appeals court to put a stay here and to prevent this, or to actually come up with a bond to prevent this from going forward. So he does have a few days left. But you're spot on, because if he doesn't, yes, the state could technically step in and force the sale, potentially even become the owner itself.
So here's another interesting caveat. Some of the properties aren't even owned by Donald Trump, and they may have a number of different owners. They are in LLCs and in trusts. So getting a judgment against these properties might be the easiest part. Enforcing it is another matter altogether. Natasha.
All right, Teresa, thank you.